Okay, so folks, good afternoon. My name is Rob Wiles. I'm head of channel here at APSL. Thank you for taking the time to see our second partner webinar around some new Cisco support services we're going to be launching in conjunction with our partner called Nowcomm. We're going to take you through this afternoon our agenda. So it should be 30-35 minutes, something like that. I'll introduce the people that are going to be presenting this afternoon. We're going to go through a Nowcomm overview so you can get a feel for the organisation we've decided to partner with. We're going to take you through what the opportunity is. You might be an existing Cisco partner, or you might be completely new to the Cisco marketplace, but it's worth covering what the market opportunity is. And then how have APSL wrapped all this up together? So we're not proposing that you deal with a second company here. We're trying to bring it into the APSL fold and deliver it as a service in the usual way. And then what are the next steps? So I'll take you through that. But the gentleman we've got presenting this afternoon is myself, Rob Wiles. We've got Nick Main, who's the marketing manager at Nowcomm, and we have Simon Hudson, who's the channel account manager at Nowcomm. Both those guys are well experienced in the world of Cisco. And what I'm going to do is hand over the bulk of the presenting to Nick and to Simon, and they'll be able to take us through the rest of the agenda. So you have control, Nick.
Okay, Simon. Rob, sorry, thanks for that introduction. So as Rob said, I'm sat here with my colleague Simon, and over the next few slides, really want to take you through who we are and what we do. And also take a look at a high level at the kind of opportunity that we think is out there. So I'm going to guess that many of you will not have heard of Nowcomm before. As you can see, it says on the slide, we are a network and communications support and managed service specialist organisation. We are based in Derby in the Midlands, and we provide network support and services to a wide range of organisations, from household names that you'll be familiar with, such as Findus Foods, to those that are more obscure, to both private sector and public sector organisations as well. Some of our customers are large, multi-site, multinational organisations with office locations throughout many countries and indeed continents, and we provide support, network support services to them across the breadth of their organisation as well. So Nowcomm was established some 7 years ago or so by 4 Cisco employees at the time, and I think it's fair to say that we understand Cisco products and solutions very, very well, and obviously the organisation as well. Cisco networking products are bread and butter, to say the least. So the reason the founders set Nowcomm up is they, I think, perceived a level of dissatisfaction amongst a number of companies with the experience they were receiving from many existing partners that were out there. There were a lot of large partners, and indeed still are, and a lot of those customers felt like they were, a small fish swimming in a large partner pond. The benefit of those larger partners, of course, was that they had the deep expertise, but the customer relationship wasn't always where it needed to be. Conversely, a lot of the smaller partners developed close customer relationships because the customer was really important to them, but perhaps they lacked the deep technical expertise to cover the broad range of Cisco solutions that were on offer. So the founders set Nowcomm up on the basis of leading the company through offering exceptional customer, an exceptional customer experience, and also providing a capability of technical excellence. So they were the founding principles of the organisation. In addition, we have built up a strong channel business, which, as you would probably expect since you're on this call. We work with a large variety of channel partners, from the smaller organizations who simply look to offload the support and management of Cisco networks to us, through to the very large outsource providers such as Cisco and Michelle, for instance, where we are tightly integrated with some of their operations. So channel support is something that we do day in, day out, and are very comfortable with. So I think, as you would expect from a company that sets out to be led by its technical capability, that also comes through being led by the investment in that capability. And to that end, we started out investing heavily in the resources of the company and have created a state-of-the-art network operations center at our headquarters in Derby, which is staffed by highly trained, high-caliber engineering personnel. That support center is able to offer a 24/7 remote monitoring, management, diagnostics capability to our customers across a broad range of network infrastructure solutions. Clearly, trying to offer a platform of exceptional customer experience, we are very interested in quality, and to that end, we follow ITIL best practices for service delivery, and also are externally audited via the ISO organization. Certifications are also important to us. I think to our customers they are a mark of our capability. They are something that is tangible, that they can see, but also it again underscores our investment in what we do. And we have a lot of Cisco certifications, and just a few of them are on this slide. And there's a couple that I would really like to draw your attention to. Firstly, we were Cisco's first advanced managed services partner. So that very much underscores our direction of our business in providing high quality service and support to our customers. We are also one of only 7 Cisco Master Unified Communication partners in the UK. So you can rest assured that when it comes to designing and supporting networks that themselves support voice solutions on top of them or video, then we are in an ideal place to help you out with that. And as you would expect for a company that sets out to offer an exceptional customer experience, we are pleased to continue, or to have gained and continue to gain, an excellent rating in Cisco's customer satisfaction surveys. I think, though, probably one of the most important things for you in talking to your customers is that we do not offer just a standard gold, silver, bronze support offering. We look to be able to tailor the support and services offerings that we provide to the actual needs of the customer in each case. Now, in some cases, that may be a simple break-fix solution, but many customers, their networks are unique. They support their business in a unique way, and off the peg, as it were, support and service solutions are simply not necessarily a good fit. They may be a good fit for the channel partner trying to provide them, but for the customer it's wrong. So we look always to tailor the support service to what the customer needs, not just what we offer. And that's an important thing for you when discussing the proposition with your customer base. So what do we use all of this great technical capability for? Well, we provide, or can provide, a full life cycle solution to customers' networks, going from network analysis and design through the management and support of those networks. So for some customers that will be simple break-fix support. For others, we can provide a fully flexible managed service if that's what they're looking for, including help desk functions as well. And we provide that across the full range of network and communications infrastructure. So from the data center switching and unified compute solutions, through local area network switching, routing and wireless solutions, wide area connectivity. We have relationships with many service providers and are capable of providing the right type of wide area connectivity that a customer is looking for, the optimum solution, whether that be lease lines, MPLS or VPN, or even some of the latest Ethernet in the last mile solutions. So, excuse me, beyond obviously connectivity, there is the all-important security. No network is complete these days without a strong security solution around it, and to support the trends of bring your own device and mobility, those solutions are becoming more orientated around identity management services as well. So we know who is on the network, what they're connecting with, where they're connecting from, and what they're accessing. And of course, as you would expect from a master unified communications partner, we have a particular specialization around UC and video solutions. Now, that's from an infrastructure perspective. Not every customer is looking just for an infrastructure-only support service. They tend to look at what that infrastructure means in terms of the wider solution. So we offer a range of services on top of the infrastructure that are able to support the business, whether that be looking at things providing application-level monitoring and support for those business-critical applications across the network, whether it be working with service providers that provide the wide area links to resolve ongoing reliability and availability issues, whether it be helping customers introduce change control processes to improve the resilience of their network, or providing design capable solutions around things like mobility, teleworking, bring your own device, and virtual desktop solutions as well. So a broad range, and these are just some of them, a broad range of, if you will, business IT solutions that fit on top of the network infrastructure that we can help you with in fulfilling the requirements of your customer on a Cisco infrastructure. So that's a brief gallop through of who we are, what we do. What's the opportunity that we're looking at here? Well, I think it's a pretty broad one, and I've got some facts and figures coming up in the next slide just to try and underline it. But let me focus first on the top two boxes on this slide. Cisco have been particularly successful in selling their routing and switching and wireless infrastructure to customers down the years. It's where they came from. It is their core, and still remains their core business. They survived things like the dot-com bubble crash quite well, which saw many of the competitors sidelined. And I would say that probably within the mid-market, that medium-sized business, Cisco's share of that is maybe around 70% in terms of installed base. So that means that an awful lot of your customers are likely to have Cisco solutions installed within their networks. We can help you capture some of that wallet that they are currently spending with others by providing the support solutions behind it. We can also help you upsell into that customer base as well. But also, we can remove the barrier of a lack of ability of Cisco capability around Cisco networking when you're looking at capturing new customers, because together with APSL, we can provide that one-stop shop capability for you to offer your customers, offer potential new customers when you're talking to them. You may have many customers on PBXs. They may well have Cisco networks. Many of them almost certainly will. If you're trying to upsell those customers to a UC solution, then it's important the network is engineered correctly to support that UC solution. We can help you there. We can help you remove the barrier of network incompatibility to allow you to make that upsell pitch to your customer. And finally, there are a broad range of professional services that Nowcomm can provide, whether that be around network design, whether that be around providing a network audit and analysis, potentially as a gap analysis for a new project, whether that be around optimizing the performance of a network in relation to applications across the wide area, for instance. There are a broad range of professional services that we can support you. So in your conversations with customers, try and understand what it is they're trying to achieve at the business level, and then we can see if we can help you tap into that opportunity by arranging our professional services behind it. So from a numbers perspective, what do we see? Well, Cisco put the value of the total addressable market within what they term their commercial network this year at 1.38 billion. So that's a Cisco financial year. It runs from August 12 to end of July 2013. So that's a pretty big chunk of pie, and as you can see, they break it down across what they call their three key architectures. Borderless networks, for those not familiar with Cisco parlance, is the core infrastructure of routing, switching, wireless, and security. So while some of those numbers, like for instance the data center, may appear a much smaller number in comparison to the overall, we also have to think about the penetration that Cisco has into that market. So they are only around 16% penetrated in the data center, so that represents a significant incremental opportunity. I guess the point being that a lot of this opportunity is not just around new customers, it's also around refresh. So think when talking to customers that you have with Cisco infrastructure, what the age of that infrastructure is. Are they running wireless? Do they have appropriate security solutions? Are they looking to run voice and video across that network? Will the network be able to support that if it was installed some years ago? So there are many refresh opportunities here that you can look at as well as obviously the support and service solutions. But I guess one of the things that I want to bring home to you is the and really the reason I think for this joint venture between us is that Cisco commands a very large share of the market within this 1 to 1,000 user, and really in reality this market share is even higher if we look at the sort of more medium-sized business, shall we say 150, 200 users up to 1,000. So you can see across the switched LAN infrastructure, across the router infrastructure and the wireless LAN, that Cisco's market share is quite considerable. And these numbers are revenue-based, so this is a percentage of market of revenue. So the underlying point, I guess, is that if you're involved in opportunities, discussions with customers or customers that are looking at refreshing networks, then there's a significant probability that if they don't go with Cisco, they're at least talking to Cisco, and we can help and support you in addressing that opportunity and capturing a broader piece of the revenue than perhaps you have been able to up to now. So just before we finish our bit here from Nowcomm, I'd like to pass over to my colleague Simon Hudson, who's just going to run over what a couple of typical support opportunities for a mid-market customers with Cisco infrastructure might look like. Simon, over to you.
Okay, thanks, Nick. Yeah, I think as we said there, alongside some of the nice big numbers that Cisco like to publicise, we thought it would be quite useful just to give you a couple of opportunities based around the kind of customers you're probably engaged with already or are likely to engage with in the future. Now, again, I would emphasise, as Nick mentioned earlier on, we provide a wide range of services, and a lot of those we're quite happy to sit alongside you in a pre-sales relationship and scope and develop what those services might be. But again, quite often what a customer's looking for, certainly as a first stage, is some kind of just generally reactive break-fix type of service. So those are the examples we've got for you here. So first one's based on, it's actually a US retail organisation, but they've got a head office over in the UK, which has got around 400 PC users. They've got a complete Cisco network, which is based on dual-core switches on 4900 chassis. They've got around 15 server and edge switches, which are 3750X and 2960s. A couple of firewalls giving them internet access and also terminating VPNs, and then they've got a small Wi-Fi deployment across some areas of the office. And that is currently generating, and these are, if you like, end provider pricing. You would expect that you would deliver something around about 15k of revenue from an opportunity that size. Similarly, another one that we picked as an example, in fact, very similar when you look at the structure. It's a manufacturer this time, so although a larger number of employees, probably only about 150 PC users, which tends to give you a rough scope on the size of the network when you look at the amount of people with PCs and phones rather than the total employees. Again, dual-core switches this time based upon the 3750s and then just with 2960s at the edge. Similarly, slightly smaller, but they've got, again, a couple of Cisco ASA internet firewalls. But interestingly with this one, because it's a manufactured operation, they've got a lot more complex wireless solution because they use RFID around their warehouse to actually identify and use as picking control. And again, from that you would expect as the end user provider, you would expect to be generating something in around about £12,000 a year of revenue for those sorts of opportunities. And those in themselves are, as we say, for a proactive break-fix service, that's something we can turn around quotations for you guys fairly quickly and hopefully give you the opportunity to get in and take a first stage of Cisco business that we can then work together to develop into a wider managed service.
Thanks, Simon. Just maybe a wider point that these examples are on core network infrastructure only, and just to reiterate that as a master UC partner, our capabilities cover a wider portfolio of Cisco products, in particular their UC products. So if you have customers that have mixed environments of PBXs and vendor types of PBX and stroke UC, then we can help support that Cisco element of that voice infrastructure for you. So whilst these are just core networking examples, don't forget the wider opportunity with UC and some of the data center product set as well. So with that, I think back to you, Rob, for the rest of the presentation.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for that. So hopefully you've got a nice, clear idea of where we can help you engage. But what I want to now cover is kind of the proposition we're wrapping around this. So if you were somebody brand new to Cisco and you wanted to go through all of the certifications that Nowcomm have gone through, you're talking about putting a considerable amount of cash on the table. Okay, so the first thing that we're wrapping together for you is an entry into this marketplace. You've seen how large the opportunity is at zero cost. Okay, so you'll be utilizing the APSL Nowcomm partnership to hit that market head on. Okay, so that's number one on the proposition. We chose Nowcomm because of their technical excellence and the fact that they are channel focused. We are very, very comfortable with the skill sets that these guys have. They are nimble enough to act in a channel manner, but have the deep enough capability to take on pretty much everything in the Cisco world. Okay, so you have that absolute technical excellence backup. We're also not expecting you to become Cisco gurus. Okay, as with all of the APSL propositions, all we're asking you to do is spot the opportunity. Once the doors open, we can layer behind pre-sales resource, point of sale resource, all of the quoting mechanisms and presentation mechanisms, all that sort of stuff comes as a standard part of the package from APSL. And we're also not asking you to sign up an account with Nowcomm. We're not saying introduce another brand new partner to your portfolio. APSL remains your single point of contact. Our channel account managers have learnt this proposition. They know how to interact with Nowcomm. They've got the backup of Simon on the account management side anyway. But your single point of contact remains APSL. We'll manage the commercials, we'll manage the credit, the billing, and also any other of the voice wraparound services that Nick's kind of mentioned. If it's a real brand new customer to you with maybe an Avaya system and a Cisco network infrastructure. Okay, so that's kind of what the proposition is, which is all good and well. And you could walk away from this webinar and think this is really good, but what experience tells me is that that's not enough to make this a success for partners. What's going to make this successful is sitting down with your APSL channel account manager and putting together a tactical plan for some early wins. Okay, everybody on the call will know where there's a Cisco customer. It'll be one of your existing customers for voice that's got a Cisco network. It'll be a customer you might want to pitch to take over support on their UC, on their network infrastructure, on all the other stuff that Cisco do. So we all know where there is one of these people. But if we don't work together, we're not going to be effective in the market. So 3 steps. Accept an appointment with your APSL channel account manager. Okay? They are going to be contacting you about this. Build a tactical plan for some early wins, and that could be something as simple as, here's 2 customers, I'm going to go and book an appointment, can you come along with me and explain the proposition? And then once we've got the door, we can leverage all of the expertise within the Nowcomm organization. And when one of your customers sees the credibility and the expertise that can come to the table here, that's when you see price go out the window and people buy into value. And that's exactly what the Nowcomm guys deliver. Okay, but if you walk away from this webinar, and we do appreciate your time for coming on it, and think that's great, I'll keep that in my back pocket, this isn't going to work. Okay, what we want to do is identify the partners that want to do these 3 steps, be proactive about it, and those are the ones we know will have the most success with. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to unmute everybody, the power that I have, and if anybody's got any questions, you can ask them now. Does anybody want to ask us anything? Now this always means, like it did this morning, that we've done too good a job. All right, so if nobody wants to ask anything, don't worry, you can always email me. But we'll also be posting this recording to the APSL YouTube channel. You'll get an email about it with the link. We'll get it on the social networking sites as well, so you can come back to it and then you can ask us questions there if you want to. But if there are no questions, I'll close the call down and thank you everybody for your time. Thank you very much indeed.